Well, and some eerie similarities as to what would happen to the Broncos a couple of years later. The Parramatta Eels felt the wrath of losing a grand final to Penrith in 2022, and it's been a nightmare ever since for them, slowly falling further and further down the table. And it was a horror season in 2024, culminating with the sacking of a coach in the middle of a year. So the new era begins, and what will that look like? They've got quite a number of list holes and quite a bit of cash to spend. Here are our top 5 targets for the Parramatta Eels. Parramatta, one of the great disappointments of 2024, and it's been a horror show for them since their grand final loss to Penrith a couple of years ago. Some similarities to what happened to the Broncos 12 months after that with their 2023 grand final loss to Penrith, followed by a nightmare season. As Jason Ryles prepares to rebuild Parramatta effectively from the ground up, they've only got 11 players locked away for 2026, holes everywhere on the list and a stack of cash to spend. So if a club is going to be busy, it will be the Parramatta Eels, and we take a look at 5 names that could be on their list to target. Option 1 is Blake Mozer. They've toyed around with a dummy half role for a little while, the Eels, but haven't been able to lock away anything substantial, and they need to go after a big fish in this space, one of their priority areas, and potentially a gettable one here. As we say, they are going to be able to outbid a number of sides when it comes to targeting certain players. They've just got to work it from priority order down, and this is certainly one area that they must focus on. Option 2, Teague Wilton from the Cronulla Sharks, second row forward, scored 17 tries over the last 3 seasons, has always been touted as a future leader and could certainly be an option coming into an Eels side that does need to build within a group that's already got a lot of young talent and obviously comes from a side that's had a fair bit of success. So Sharks are going to have to squeeze a couple, we know that, and just maybe the Eels might be able to go after Teague as a potential option. Option 3, Christian Welch from the Melbourne Storm. With the loss of Reagan Campbell-Gillard, it does leave another hole for the Eels, and a lot of their focus through this period is going to be on young players that can be there for a long time, but they still also need some experience and leadership in that forward pack, somebody that can fly the flag and carry and educate that young group, and this could be one of those options. It's not just a case of going all or nothing with top-end experienced players in the hunt of a flag or kids in push of a fast rebuild. You've got to get that blend right to make sure that, I guess, the balance within the stocks can stand up under pressure, and that could be an option to help them do that. Option 4, Toby Couchman, back to the focus on young players, one of the best props in the game, yet to re-sign with the Dragons, which must make them very nervous. Obviously, they made some progress on the season and could mount a compelling case to keep him, but the fact that he hasn't signed might mean that the door does open, and in terms of young targets, should certainly be towards the top of the list. And as we mentioned, should be able to outbid a few of the other clubs that would be looking for his services, of which there will be many. Well, option 5 for the Eels, Elliot Elias from the Rabbitohs, been linked with a departure. A lot of clubs chasing his signature. Been a mainstay at halfback over the last couple of seasons, chalked up 53 games in just under 3 years. Potential positional change for him too, to a dummy half role, but he's certainly a target that will be on the Eels list. A number of clubs as well, but they'll be going in the market for him given his versatility. Parramatta, they're going to be very busy through this time, looking to build their roster long term. They've got a few more list spots than a lot of other clubs and a bit more money than a lot of other clubs as well. So we expect them to be involved in many conversations. It's been a horrible experience for them since they almost climbed the summit in 2022. Can they get themselves back there quickly? Will it take some time? This is an extremely important off-season for the boys from Parramatta. So we certainly wish them well. They're 5 players that we've nominated. There are plenty of others that you could throw up onto the list, so send some names our way in the comments section. A reminder to like and subscribe, and jump on zerotackle.com for all the latest news.